And hello again, welcome back to Make Your Own Flute or Create Your Own Flute in Fusion 360. We're going to leave behind the head joint now and move on to the barrel. So we have a vision of or a view of the finished barrel here on the screen, and we'll see that it has a timber body. It has an internal nickel silver tube, and it has two decorative and reinforcing gold rings, or they can be silver or aluminium or whatever you prefer. Now, there's one comment to make about the size of the rings themselves. They are both structural and decorative, and this one here in particular sustains a lot of the pressure during the ongoing life of the flute, because it's at this end that the main playing body, the middle joints of the flute, will actually be inserted, and they'll be inserted under pressure with a cork. So you may decide that you prefer either a thicker or a wider ornamental band here, but that's a decision that you have to balance between your own aesthetics and your engineering appreciation of the stresses and strains under which the flute will be operated over its lifetime. Okay, with that said, we now need to consult with a drawing. That's the class model barrel drawing. Excuse me. The main problem we have to face here that's different from what we met so far is the fact that the timber body is not a cylinder. It's not cylindrical. At one end, the dimensions given for it are 28.5 millimeter, and at the other end they are 27.5. And then there's typically a straight taper going from one end to the other. Now, it doesn't have to be straight. It depends on your own turning ability, how you want to actually shape that. But it's given the dimensions we've used for the head joint. The 27.5 here is to be flush, give you a flush finish with the head joint, and the 28.5 here is to give you a flush fit with the middle joint that we'll be moving on to next. Okay. So we'll move on to what I've called the class model of the barrel, and I'm working at version 2. I was playing around with it and I've deleted all of the designs I've put in so that we can have a fresh start. Once again, you'll find the written instructions for this component in the description of the video. So let's fire away. So the first thing we need to do is to do File, New Design. And we save it. I'll actually have it saved already. Do class model. So you save it as whatever you like. Now just make sure that you put it into the same folder as the head joint, wherever that might be, because it'll be handy when we start to assemble the final flute. So I'll just close down the browser panel. So we will assemble a new component, and we'll give it a name. And it's active. So we'll now select our plane, the YZ plane, and we'll create a new sketch. This is going to be our circle. And we're going to give that a diameter of 27.5. Making sure it's on the origin. So finish the sketch. Now we're going to actually use a construction plane for the next the circle at the other end of the barrel, and to construct the plane you can either select the YZ plane, or you can select this face here itself, which is sitting on the YZ plane. So selecting either of those does both exactly the same. So I'll go with this and construct an offset plane, and we want it to be in this direction, and the offset plane needs to be the length of the barrel away from the YZ plane, and that is 70 mil. So with the construction plane, we'll select that construction plane and we'll draw the other circle on that construction plane. And this was to be 28.5. And you can see that the two circles are both centered on origins, and you can see the slight difference in internal diameters. We'll finish the sketch. There we have them. Now we want to turn the volume that's contained between these two circles into solid. So we will go to create, and we'll introduce you to Loft. Now Loft is at its best when you have single sketches identified. If you have more than one sketch selected in the same, or more than one object in the same sketch, it can get confused. So one sketch, one object, going to one sketch, one object gives you the best guarantee of a clean loft. So we want to select that one, and then we want to select that one. And you can see that you have two profiles in the dialog box. And don't worry about any of these things for the moment. Operation needs to be a new body. You can also use the loft to cut, and we'll be doing that when we come to build the tapered bore within the rest of the flute. So we hit OK. Okay, so we've done the loft. Now just go around here and we select this here, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bore out the insides of the barrel, and I'm going to go here first, and we're going to make that a 21mm circle. Finish the sketch, and I'm going to extrude that. Now watch this one. The extent type, well, let's make sure we cut it and tell it how far we want it to go. We want it to go through all. Now I know it's not going to be a 21mm bore the whole way. We need a 22.5 at the far, or 22 at the far side. So hit OK. So now we go to the other end, and we just select. You could either select the construction plane, or we could select this face. So I'll go with the face, and we will create a sketch and a circle, and we'll make this 22.5. And finish the sketch. Now we will bore the other cylinder to accept the cork end of the flute, and we're going to make it a cut. Now we need to be careful in what we select here. That should do it, and we want it to go in. We want it to go in a distance of, the drawing says 28.5. Doesn't like the 2 decimal points. Kill the second one. Everything returns to normal. We hit OK and go home. Now it's not visible to us what we've actually done. Oh, we can select all right. I'll just modify physical material, use the old trick of making it a liquid so that we can see into it. You can actually modify the opacity of the object if you want, but I haven't found it very satisfactory for keeping a close eye on what's happening internally. Okay, so we'll close that. So we've those two bores complete. Now we need to get the shoulders ready for the silver rings. So we'll just start here. We can start at either end. And what we want to do is create a circle. Create 2 circles this time. And this is we want 27.5 at this end. And we want a second circle to hit the letter C. Now I just chose 30 for this. There's no real set diameter for this circle because this is just going to be a cutting operation on the outside of the timber. We'll finish the sketch and we'll go for, now we have to make sure we get the timber. So I select the entire profile. I'm going to make it a cut. We're going to go this way and I'm just going to go for, it's your own decision how far you like to go yourself. And we then do exactly the same the other end. I think in the instructions I have done this in the opposite order. I often like to have a look, make sure I get the right surface, create a sketch, circle, center, and this one has to be 26.5. First one, and a second circle, and we'll make that 30 again. We'll finish the sketch. Now, if you only select that inner one, you'll actually cut a slot into the timber body. You won't actually remove the outside material completely. So you need to make sure you get both of them. And we want to have, see where the arrow is going. There's the arrow. We want to go the other way. And we pick 4 or -4. That looking good, I think it is. And we go home. And there we have the finished timber barrel. So save your work. And at this stage, it's a good idea to actually go and create a drawing. And check that you have all your dimensions or parameters correct. Make sure you have that add there selected, visible and hidden edges so that you can see inside. And then you can go to dimensions, see if you did the length right. Okay, didn't like that. Dimensions 70. Internal bore right. So I leave it to you to put in whatever parameters you like to, or dimensions you like. I've done something strange there, so I must go back and fix that now. Okay, thank you. We'll leave it at that, and we'll pick up with the nickel silver tube on the next session. Thank you.